right. Good afternoon, Algebra people. Today we're going to start something new. It's still factoring, but we're not factoring GCF. Now we're factoring out of trinomials and into binomials. It's kind of like we're undoing FOIL. Today's are going to fall into the form x squared plus bx plus c, where there's no coefficient a and b and c are both positive. And this is really, it's kind of simple. It's all in the setup of this problem. And so what we want to do is we want to look, first of all, we have a trinomial. There's no coefficient a. It's positive, positive. So the way that we're going to set it up, anytime it meets that category or those qualifications, is we're going to start it off like this. We're going to start out with our two parentheses for our two binomials. And because it's a plus plus, we're going to start it off as a plus plus, just like that. And then I know using FOIL, the way that I got r squared with my first two terms in my binomial was an r times an r, because r times r gave me that r squared. Well, to get 24, I know I had to multiply these second terms, these last terms in my binomial. So if I think about the factors of 24, I have 1 and 24. Well, that's not going to add up to give me 11. Then I have 2 and 12. Well, that's not going to add up and give me 11. I have 3 and 8. That's going to add to give me 11, because if you do 3 plus 8, that gives you 11. So the way that this would break down would be r plus 3, the quantity r plus 3, times the quantity r plus 8. And it doesn't matter if you put the quantity r plus 8 times the quantity r plus 3, as long as you have those two binomials. Then to check it, we're going to do FOIL and just make sure we get back to this. R times r is going to give me r squared. R times 8 is going to give me that 8r back. 3 times r is going to give me 3r. And then 3 times 8 is going to give me 24. Add these two in the middle, and I'm going to get r squared plus 11r plus 24. And it brought me back to my original, so I know that I worked that one correctly. Okay. On the second one, you have x squared plus 7x plus 12. There's no a coefficient. They are both positive. B and C are both positive. So I'm going to start off with my parentheses. And because it's a plus plus, I'm going to put plus plus in there. X squared in that first term in my trinomial means that my first term in my parentheses were both x's, because x times x gives me that x squared. Then I know that my last terms had to multiply to be 12, but they had to add up to be 7. So 1 and 12 doesn't work. 2 and 6 wouldn't give me 7, but 3 and 4 do. So this would be x plus 3, the quantity x plus 3, times the quantity x plus 4. And to check it, x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. And that's my middle. I'm going to combine those terms, and it brings me back to my original. Okay? So it's really important in this one. You have to know the factors of those numbers. The next one, but I forgot to put the square. M squared plus 4m plus 3. It does not have an a. It's a plus plus. So I'm going to put my parentheses. I'm going to put a plus plus. Okay. M, if it's m squared, I know both my first terms in my binomials have to be m, because m times m would give me that m squared. And then 3 is prime, so the only possible factors you could have are 1 and 3. Well, if I multiply 1 times m, 3 times m, I get 1m and 3m, which would bring me back to this 4m. So this would be m plus 1, m plus 3. And I would get M times M is M squared. M times 3 is 3M. 1 times M is M. And 1 times 3 is 3. Combine those middle two terms, and you get M squared plus 4M plus 3. And so it's factored correctly. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this one. W plus 11W, and this should be W squared. Sorry, I'm coming back to that one. Let's go to this one. X squared plus 13x plus 42. Okay, A doesn't have a coefficient. It's plus plus. So I know that I'm going to break it down like this. Okay, and I would have plus plus in there. I'm going to split up my x's. And then 42, I need to figure out what two factors of 42 would give me 13. So I start with 1 and 42, no way. 2 and 21, no. 3 and 14, no. 4 doesn't go into it. 5 doesn't go into it. 6 and 7, well, 6 plus 7 is 13. So there are my factors. So this would be x plus 6, x plus 7. So x times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. 6 times x is 6x. And then 6 times 7 is 42. And this would give me x squared plus 13x plus 42. And it brings me back to my original number. Okay. All right. And the next one, A's doesn't have an A. B and C are both positive, so I'm going to break it down. Plus plus. W, split it up. Then I need two factors of 8 that add together to be 11. Well, I have 1 and 8. 2 and 4, but neither of those add up to be 11. So if none of the factors of 8 add up to be 11, and there's nothing else you can do with it, there's no greatest common factor we could pull out, there's nothing else, this is one of those ones like we talked about yesterday. This is going to be a prime polynomial. Okay? And so that's how you factor trinomials that are x squared plus bx plus c. And that is today's lesson. I hope that you're working on Alex. I hope you're keeping up. Like I said, I know that testing and everything is canceled for this year, but you're going to be expected to know these concepts, especially when you get to Algebra 2. So enjoy your time off. I'm enjoying mine, but we got to do a little bit of work too. I miss y'all. I hope to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.